Welcome to another Just Traveling Through video. I'm Celeste.
And I'm Terry.
And today we're going to talk about the big island of Hawaii.
When you hear the word big, you really have to realize how big it is. It's the biggest island in the United States.
It's even bigger than Puerto Rico, isn't it?
It is. It's huge. 4,000 plus square miles.
In this video, we're going to give you an overview of the island and a one-week itinerary for visiting the Big Island.
For lots of interesting places for you to visit while you're there.
The island of Hawaii, also known as the Big Island, is the first in the Hawaiian island chain. There are
dry sides and wet sides.
The west side, or the leeward side, also known as the Kona side, is the more dry side of the island. The Kohala coast runs along the northwest side of the island, and it's extremely dry there. It's desert-like. That area extends to the center of the island by Mauna Kea. The east side of the island is the windward side, or the wet side.
And it gets a considerable amount of rainfall. You better bring your rain jackets because you're going to put them to use.
Most people stay either on the Kona side or the Hilo side of the island.
Yeah, the Kona side is nice. There's a lot of places for rent, condos, hotels. Some of the cruise ship companies come in there for port calls.
There's tons of restaurants, touristy area
Shopping.
with t-shirt shop. And the Hilo side, on the other hand, is known for its waterfalls. It's very lush.
It's almost jungle-like. It's very dense.
The town of Hilo also has a cruise ship port, but it's not as vibrant as the Kona side.
The town of Hilo is quite old.
It's a little rundown in the town, and there's not as many places to stay. But the waterfalls on that side and the scenery are beautiful. So if you look at this map, you can see there are two major volcanoes on the Big Island.
Yeah, Mauna Kea and Kilauea. Mauna Kea is dormant, or it's considered to be long dormant. Kilauea is active. In fact, it's been erupting some number of years in a row. It may or may not have lava flows when you're there.
We were there in February, and we ended up staying 4 nights in Hilo, and if we were to go back again, we wouldn't do that. We would actually choose to stay in the North Kaloa area, the Kohala coast.
It's much drier. You have easy access to not only the airport, but a number of really pretty beaches, and it's still accessible to Hilo as you cross the island.
And you can easily get to the town of Kona as well. Our one-week itinerary. We're going to assume that you're staying on the Kona side or on the Kohala coast on the north side of the island for the purposes of this video. This map shows you the breadth of things that there are to do and see and how far apart they are. Day 1 is arrival day.
Okay, here you are at the Kona International Airport. You're going to collect your rental car and head off to the rental you've decided to use. As a graphic example of the volcanic origin of the Hawaiian Islands, the Kona International Airport is sitting on a lava flow from an 1801 eruption, and the eruption added almost 1.6 kilometers of new island.
So find your lodging, check in, maybe pick up some food.
Getting acquainted with the area, get your feet wet on where things are.
And that evening, try to find somewhere to eat that has an oceanfront view.
We have a link on our webpage for the Big Island for the oceanfront restaurants that you can find in the Waikolola area of the Big Island.
If you're looking for something high-end, check out Merriman's. Not waterfront, but it comes highly recommended, and they specialize in the farm-to-table concept, featuring fresh fish, meat, and produce from the area. And here is a list of some of the restaurants in the Kona area and the Kona downtown. We ate at Foster's Kitchen one evening. It had a really nice view. It was up on the 2nd floor. Food was good. If you stay in the Waikolola village, we happened to stop at the Queen's Marketplace. And there was a little food court, and they had some pretty decent food there. So if you're hungry when you get there, check it out. And there's a Starbucks there too if you need a coffee.
Yeah, there are good food choices, and the stuff that we had, like Celeste said, was really quite good.
Day 2, we recommend either going golfing if you're a golfer, or hitting some of the local beaches near where you're staying. As far as golf courses go, Terry and I don't golf, but I have a cousin who's golfed here many times, and he gave us these recommendations. And if you're not going to golf, check out some of the beaches in the area.
Yeah, there are a number of nice beaches. Hapuna Beach State Park, for example.
Along the Kohala coast.
Kaunaaoa Beach, also known as Mauna Kea Beach.
On the Kona side, check out the Manini Owaii Beach at Kua Bay. And you're seeing some of those images here. It was very nice. There were some rocks, but there's turtles there and the water's very clear. People like to go there and go swimming.
Also on that side is the Wawaloli Beach Park, which is somewhat unusual because it's mostly lava rock with the ocean sweeping in across the rocks in front of you. Really unique, but an interesting place to visit nonetheless.
It was a nice place to spend. We spent, a half an hour walking around the rocks.
Plenty of parking there.
And then if you have time and you want to get into some history later on, you can visit the National Historic Site.
This is an interesting place to visit. This is the ruins of a temple built by Kamehameha I. This site preserves the National Historic Landmark ruins of the last major ancient Hawaiian temple and other historic sites.
Day 3, explore the waterfalls along the Hamakua coast. There are a lot of waterfalls on that side of the island.
There are a total of 13, and today we're going to tell you about 3 of them.
And we recommend stopping at Tex Drive-In for breakfast.
Oh my God, you'll be glad you did. They make the best malasadas.
If you've watched some of our other recent Hawaii videos on Maui and Oahu, we've been in search of the best malasadas, and I think Tex is right up there, and maybe my number 1.
Yeah, in fact, Hawaii Magazine says they are easily one of the best on the Big Island.
When you leave Texas, drive towards Akaka Falls. You're going to pass the Uma Uma experience. You may want to stop there for a bit before you head on. Looks like a lot of fun. They have ATVs and zip lines. We would have gone, but it was raining, so we didn't get to go there. But check it out. Check out their website.
Akaka Falls State Park is about 10 miles from the coastal highway. It's an easy drive, very little traffic. You'll pass some farms on the way up there. Parking is limited, so you want to try and get there as early as you can.
There is a registration fee, and it's $10 a car.
And $5 a person for entry.
It's a loop walk. The walk is all paved.
I think the circle was, maybe 1/8 of a mile total?
It's very lush the entire way, and as you can see, it was really raining when we were there.
And here's the payoff. Akaka Falls, all 442 feet of it.
So this is Rainbow Falls. Frequently there's rainbows here. On the day we were there, it was pretty much raining, so there were no rainbows, but it was really pretty to see.
Yeah, so Rainbow Falls is generated from the Wailuku River, which is the longest river on the Big Island, 28 miles long, flowing down from Mauna Kea area.
And this is a little bit upstream.
Yeah, it's 1.6 miles, I think, upstream from Rainbow Falls.
You leave the parking lot and then you just drive up the road a little ways. It's called Boiling Pots.
Boiling Pots got their name because they are really a series of small waterfalls and water pools. And when the rain is heavy, it looks like a boiling pot. Here is a list of optional things to do if you have the time.
You're in that area. So visiting the Hawaii Tropical Bioreserve and Garden, hiking the Onomea Bay Trail, or you can watch the surfers at the Honolulu Beach Park. This was fun. We spent quite a bit of time.
Yeah, you can tell by the waves they were good that day, and a whole gaggle of local surfers are out there working the water.
The entire time we were there was flood warnings.
This is probably the typical end conclusion to a lot of rainfall. Look at those rocks. Okay, day 4. Consider a trip to the summit of Mauna Kea. There's 2 ways to go about this. You can drive yourself, or you can take a tour. They're not inexpensive, but they can take you all the way to the summit with less hassle, but they take more time. The road to the Mauna Kea area is paved up to the Visitor Information Center. Beyond that, it is dirt, very steep, and requires a 4-wheel drive, or they won't let you enter that part of the park.
The views at sunset are supposed to be incredible, as you can see in the image above, and then the stars at night are supposed to be some of the best you can see.
Yeah, just the nighttime view is like, oh my God, where'd all those stars come from?
Another option for day 4 is to get a resort pass. If you're not staying at a resort and you'd like to visit one, you can actually go onto resortpass.com and get a resort pass for the day.
Which is something that we did, and we had a great time.
Yeah, we visited the Hilton Waikoloa Village.
A lot of pools, a lot of coastline. They have their own little lagoon.
You can go snorkeling there, or you can participate in their Dolphin Quest program, where you can learn about dolphins and interact with them. On day 5, we recommend visiting Volcanoes National Park.
This is a bit of a drive, so we're going to say right up front, this is an all-day day trip.
We're going to recommend doing this in a clockwise fashion, so starting somewhere on the coast or Kona, going kind of the middle of the island route.
Yeah, also known as Saddle Road. You're going to drive between Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. The views are amazing.
So if you didn't see Mauna Kea before, at least this allows you to drive across that part of the island and see the landscape there.
Route 200 will eventually dead end into Route 11.
Once you get to the visitor center at Volcanoes National Park, you can get oriented there and get a map.
There are also restrooms and some t-shirt shops, etc.
A lot of educational information about the volcanoes, and you can speak to the rangers there. And once you're done with that, you can continue on and go by the steam vents and over to the Kilauea Overlook.
Yeah, that road actually encircles the Kilauea caldera.
Once you're done with that, you can take the Crater Rim Drive and go by the Thurston Lava Tube.
The lava tube is an interesting thing to stop and see. Lava tubes are a fascinating phenomenon. When the eruption occurs, lava is forced down into the ground around the erupting volcano, and when the eruption ceases and the lava actually drains completely out, it leaves behind a natural cave or tube.
When you continue along the drive, there'll be a number of craters that you'll pass.
Yeah, there are 17 pit craters in the Kilauea caldera. Look at that lava. There's just miles and miles of it. Everywhere you look in certain sections of this drive, there were tons and tons of lava.
I'm always startled to see something growing in the middle of the lava fields. So,
isn't that amazing? Life will always find a way.
You can take Crater Rim Drive all the way down to the sea.
And the coastline, and at the bottom of that road, you're going to find the Hawaii Sea Arch,
which is
a stunning example.
Arch on the edge of the ocean.
Yeah.
After leaving the national park, we recommend taking the southwest
Route 11
side of the island to go through the coffee country.
Yeah, there are more than 650 coffee farms of all sizes along that route.
Many of the coffee farms offer tours or tastings or both. You can buy coffees from them. Down around one side of the island there after you leave the farm is the Ka'u coffee. And then up as you get more towards Kona, you're going to run into the Kona coffee. What's the difference between them?
Those are the two biggest in that part of the island, and the difference is that Kona has a light, sweet, fruity profile with a snappy spice of bright acidity. Ka'u coffee has a malty flavor comprised of brown sugar, citrus, and floral notes. It's a very smooth coffee.
One great place to stop along that route is the Punalu'u Bake Shop.
It's the southernmost bakery in the United States, and they make some good malasadas here.
Since you know we're in search of malasadas everywhere on the islands, we had to stop here and we were not disappointed. It's a beautiful setting. They have like tables out back and it was very pretty. Day 6, consider a whale watching tour if it's wintertime, or
if not wintertime, then consider taking a snorkel trip to Kohala Kekua Bay. It's said to be very pretty and great snorkeling.
You can see the Captain Cook Monument on that snorkel tour as well. And if you didn't get a chance to get in the water during the day, check out a
nighttime stingray snorkel tour.
Very popular on the islands, and there are a number of vendors, and they leave from the Kona Harbor. And that's the end of our one-week itinerary.
Hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed making it.
Thanks.
And come back soon.
Check out our website if you get a chance.